Well,
I absolutely love it.
here we are. Here we are. Here we are. So, this is just in case American Newscape, rejoining our friend and media personality, Jerry Maldonado, back for another installment of Meatball Perspectives. Hello, Meatball. Welcome back to American Newscape.
What the hell was that intro that came on my screen of a desert?
Well, one of us lives where there's no rain and lots of sand, and the other one lives who knows
Okay.
where. Who knows where?
It's like something out of Hanna Barbara. It's like watching
Exactly.
a Saturday morning cartoon.
And
I love
exactly.
it.
And stick around. The Roadrunner and the
Uh,
Coyote will be here shortly.
let me get my cereal. Hold on, and I'll go sit on the road.
You'll be all
Hey,
right, Jerry.
it was very unique. It came out of the desert. For my viewers on Facebook, my buddy lives out in the desert, so we kind of embellished the screen tonight with some scenes from his hometown.
Well, exactly. You know, I live with rattlesnakes, scorpions, black widow spiders. You know, good old stuff. Good old stuff in the desert Southwest. Hey, Jerry, what do you got
And I,
for
and
us
I
this week?
live and I live where there's farms, and that kind of gave me the thought tonight to come on with something like this because we're all kind of farming every single day. Around where I live, literally now, all the fields are ready. They're bare, they've been cultivated, they've been plowed, probably planted by now, if not already, because it's getting nice and warm up here. And I thought to myself, I've been going past these places for years and watching how every single year it gets the same exact thing. And I was like, that's basically who we are. We are we're sowing and reaping every day, by our thoughts and our feelings every single day. But what intrigued me was what kind of field do we have? What kind of place do we go to cultivate and grow the same or have this quantum leap or whatever it might be? Because in farming, they know exactly what they're going to get. They put the seed in, they cultivate it, they know the conditions, the climates, and everything else. They know for certain that they're going to get a certain, bias, any kind of catastrophic events up here, but they know what they're going to get every single year. And I've watched it for years now, for several years actually, coming out the same way. What my question was when I drove by it the other day was, what kind of field do we have to plant from? Some call it the conscious mind, some call it heaven, some call it God, some call it all these different, perceptions of our own quantum field per se that we plant in. And what intrigued me the most was hearing a note from James Maxwell. He was the founder of the unified field back in the late 1800s. Actually, Einstein worked on that. This is the field of quantum science and quantum mechanics that few know about, but it's a place where all the party goes, man. It's a place where you want to be because this is the subatomic level of creation. This is where all the atoms go. And I'm not going to get into any kind of specifics about it for certain. You guys can look it up for yourself. But this is our own field, the subatomic field where all the energies combine, the atoms combine, neutrons, protons, the whole 9 yards all gather in this energetic place. And from there, they've figured out relativity, they've figured out space travel through mathematics and geometry and so on and so forth. But also, human behavior and consciousness is involved with this as well. And it's very interesting, very intriguing. From a nerd aspect, to me, this is like the physics Bible of creation. This is where you go to figure out how to cultivate that field because all it is, every thought, every feeling. Thoughts are the electrical charge, your feeling is the magnetic charge. That's basically what this unified field is. It's a combination of all the energies that we connect to. And what's that theory? Develop a more understanding of reality. That's the theory on human relations to this field. You're literally creating a reality by entering in and out of this field consciously and or unconsciously every day because you're matching up with the atoms, hence the energy that is matching up with hence the law of attraction, which is creating your reality from it.
Wow, that makes sense to me, Jerry. I'm not sure it makes sense to anybody else, but uh, so basically, and I'm getting feedback again for some reason. Did you move your
Go
mic?
ahead.
Okay.
I'll step back there. Go ahead.
All right.
I just laugh really loud. I set off the feeder.
Okay. Uh, so
Go ahead.
planting seeds are basically our thoughts. So we're basically planting seeds, which are our thoughts, and when we reap those seeds, that's the energy we create to go forward. So
Indeed.
we need to not only plant, we need to feed, we need to fertilize, we need to keep the critters and insects out of our field. We need to keep our field as pure as possible.
Well, it's the same thing as growing, as cultivating these beautiful plants and vegetables. It's the same thing. Whatever constant thought we have, I may sound repetitious, maybe even redundant here, but the same conscious thought that you're emitting every day, you're creating an emotional code, hence an emotional blueprint, which is creating your character, which is creating your personality, which is creating your personal reality. It's these understandings, because this is what the farmer understands. He puts all of this effort knowing what he's going to get. My question to people is, and my hope for people is, you put all the effort in your conscious thinking. You don't have to worry about the unified field and all the backings of it and the physics behind it. Know that you're connected to a higher source. And this higher source is where all the subatomic particles go to connect with other subatomic particles per se. And that's basically a juvenile, theory of it. But if they can calculate space travel, the laws of the universe, and basically creation by using this field and human behavior, consciousness and reality comes from that, it should be a little PSA for people to realize that what you think and what you feel indeed will become, because there is a set field in place that you are cultivating every single day.
No, absolutely. We're very powerful, but it can be for good, it can be for our best interest, or it can be not in our best interest. But we're the creators, right?
Oh, good point. Yeah. People forget that. They forget that we are our own creation machine. And
Hmm.
we've talked about this before. We are our own self-fulfilling prophecy. People have a hard time grasping that. That's why I love coming on doing these kind of shows, throwing little breadcrumbs at people, saying, "Look, maybe if you do a little research, if your life is not the way you thought it would be, it's because of the way you thought it would be." And if you start doing the research on understanding how the functionality of your thoughts is creating the tangible base reality, that should kick in a little thought process for people to realize that, wait, I have the power to change this because everything is within me to move that forward however way I want to do it. And the same result you're getting now is just a cultivated field that you keep farming, keep nourishing, keep planting, and sowing and reaping 101. Basically, there you go.
Right, and reaping's a big word. I mean, it's reaping your rewards. It's the payback for all that positive energy, all that hard work, and you'll deserve it. You'll deserve that reward.
I love that. Indeed, it is. It can be hard work to some. But to me, inspired action, I love using that phrase, because if you're on a quest like you and I every day, we want information, we want technology, we want all these things. To us, it's inspired action. It's not even work, man. We're
Right.
just doing our thing, what we love to do. If you set forth a purpose in your life to only improve yourself, it's a daily process of finding out more information. And that's basically what I do. And I just take that boilerplate it, ship it on out to my audience. Say, look, this is what I'm learning. What do you think? Go research it for yourself. I'm like the librarian, the video librarian, man. You don't need an index card. I'm just sending it off to people. And when they get these kind of breadcrumbs and intriguement with what's going on, then maybe they'll make the change to help their own lives.
Well, exactly. And they may comment, and they may add to the conversation, and they may enhance our perspectives and our viewpoints.
Oh God, our history, you've taught me so much about media in the smallest ways. I mean, this is what I mean. The connection is going to lead to the connection. You
Right.
don't have to worry about fighting the universe, or fighting this or fighting that, chasing money, chasing it. Just follow the dream and everything else will come together. This is what I try to tell people. I had this thought and this vision of just having a library to give to my kids. It has evolved into a video library that I can give to everybody. This is what I'm talking about. Whatever passion you have and your thought process about the passion, let it evolve, let it come together, but keep doing your research on it. Get the breadcrumbs, open the book, open the video, open the YouTube, and follow through. Know that you're a powerful source. All you have to do is cultivate the garden to get a better plant.
Well, exactly. And even you and I are more powerful than we realize. It's almost limitless. Almost.
Oh, indeed, we are limitless. Go ahead. I interrupted.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, no. It's just that's our perspective on it. And that's why we keep learning. And you're right. It's not work. It's what we do.
Yeah. I mean, find what you love. I mean, I tell people all the time, find what you love to do, and you'll never have to worry about working again. You really don't. I mean, yeah, people put an emphasis on the money factor. I get it, but that also can be solved by doing what you love to do because it could double and triple increase your income just by your passion alone. I use, be the best you, all good will come back to you. That's not some abstract inspiration. It's a quantum fact. You start being that best person, you start emitting that energy out there, and all of it's going to flow together. But you got to be patient, just like a farmer is. He's not digging up the seed every hour, Meatball, to check it to see if it's growing. He has faith, which few of us have. A lot of us have been taught not to believe in the unseen until we see it. I'm saying believe in it before you see it and watch it become.
Well, absolutely. But first, believe in yourself.
Ah, yeah. That old internet thing. You're not good enough. Yeah, that was a hard thing. That was the hardest for me. I look back at someone like you. You can relate to this. You look back some of your earliest work. Bunch of stuttering idiots we were. Trying to put this format together, but this is what it takes. It takes you to understand and learn from the mistakes, hence failures in life, and not take it against yourself. When you
Right.
believe in yourself, you can create anything you want for yourself. And doing that is through repetition. And doing that understanding about what you truly want. When you know what you want, I mean the world is your oyster because you're going to start creating the synchronicities to match it by connecting to this unified field of the same kind of energy that's going to push you forward in life. You don't have to understand the quantum mechanics behind it. I really don't. I know the basic juvenile approach to it. That's basically all there is. It's that power that we have the privilege, all of us. And there's no, any kind of bias. We have privilege to enter in and out. Some people use transcendental meditation. I use conscious thought, passionate conscious thought on what I want to become because I'm passionate about it. It's a natural flow. People can grasp that. I mean, the world is endless, and your power magnifies from that.
Well, absolutely. And your micro successes turn into bigger successes. And I'm not talking
Oh,
about financial or business, but in the windmills of your mind. And that's what keeps you going. That's what keeps you taking those baby steps. And then
a small step, yeah.
you learn. You develop a passion for it. Uh,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring, but I'm certainly looking forward to it.
Oh God. Well, you really, honestly, I mean, beyond any kind of forces that are more powerful than us, and I have no idea what that is. All I know is I'm in this time and place right now, and that's what I'm going to focus on because what I'm focusing on now is going to manifest. I mean, that's what people have to realize. You're creating an emotional code, a blueprint of your reality, just like your DNA has a blueprint and a pattern of your thoughts and your feelings. And that's how it's kind of controlled in your life to create the elements of your biology. Our thought process is the same thing to create our reality. Just people have a hard time believing it. They have a hard time understanding, well, I have this power, but I live in poverty. Yeah, you live in poverty because you think about poverty. I don't
Right.
have any money. Yeah, because you think you don't have any money all the time. Therefore, incidents are created to take more of it away from you. The field of just reacting to who you are. You start understanding who you are. You'll start understanding where you're going.
Well, and there were a lot of breadcrumbs for us when we were little because there were things like I met a man with no shoe. And like the one thing, the little engine that could. I was passionate about that as a
You love
kid.
that book.
Oh, I
You
did. I
love that.
did.
You you love that book. I mean, and you bring it up a lot. It that's great because it's those kind of things that stick with you that really let you understand how special you were.
Well,
People have a hard time reflecting on that. I mean, I see it all the time, and people text me, "Why is this happening?" I said, "Look in the mirror.
no, exactly.
look how you look how you see yourself. How you see yourself is what you attract to yourself because you're connecting to all these elements of energy just to match up to what you're feeling. This is what I mean about self-fulfilling prophecy. You stay in the energy that you want to be in every day. That's the practice part. That's the cultivating every day. You stay in that energy of what you want to have, be, and do. You can only manifest from that because it's the laws of the universe that are in place that all the great Stoics and physics and scientists have all understood, but can't put it, they only can put a theory behind it because they can't see it. So if they try to push it out as fact, they're going to get criticized for it. So they put theory behind, like the quantum theory and all these other theories out there. But know that it's a concrete fact, but they can't really say that per se. But know there's something there that's stronger than us. It's there to help us. It's our guardian angel. It's our creation machine. It's who we are as people.
Well, we have our tools, and people might laugh at me when I say the little engine that could, but when I need to catch my second wind, I can always fall back on that. See, I can always fall back on that, re energize, refocus, get back after what I need to be doing.
If it's in here, I mean, it's never going away. I
Right.
mean, it's like a gnat at a picnic. Whatever kind of dream you hold, you don't have to think about it, but it's always going to be here. It's always going to be in that magnetic part of us that is 5,000 times stronger than the human brain. It's our attraction force, and when you can grasp that as far as your vision goes, it'll never go away. But it's up to you to make the choice to cultivate the garden, learn about it more, take more action, inspired action towards it. You'll start connecting to this field that's going to bring to you all you desire.
And don't hide from it. Don't put your head in the sand. Do what you need to do to inspire yourself to move forward.
Yeah, I mean, I said the other night, we're literally dropped here without an instruction manual.
Yeah, exactly.
We got to figure it out, and this is what gets people scared because they got to figure it out. What do you mean they got to figure it out? It's not done for me. There's that entitlement thing again going on in my head here. But you have to figure it out. You have to sometimes go through the morass of issues, and I've been there. You watched me go through it in my Facebook for a decade. You've been there with your challenges in life, but in essence, you don't need a vision. You just need to know what you want and the feeling behind it. And there you're going to start creating because a vision, yeah, I get the whole vision thing, but some people, because we're so unique, don't have that. But what they do is they have a thought and they get a feeling about it. That's the starting point too. Don't get discouraged because you don't have these perfect pictures in your mind of where you want to go. All you need to know is know what you want, feel it, know that you already got it. You just got to connect to it.
Well, and to be fair, it's a little more difficult these days living in a society of people that channel Chicken Little.
Yeah, but there goes the choice again.
Right.
You got a choice. You got a choice to watch the chicken or eat the turkey. I tell people all the time. You got a conscious choice to put on that negativity, whatever it might be, or the movies or the music. That's going to get you crazy and scared, or you can do your thing. During the whole pandemic thing, I never got COVID. Why is that? I don't know. Even though I worked where I was interacting with 20,000 people every single week at my job, I never got it. I'm not saying I'm special. Maybe I am.
Maybe
No,
you're
but
just
the point being is, I never got the shot. I never got this. But you know what? I didn't focus on it.
right.
I'm not saying be ignorant to it. No, I didn't stick my fingers in my face all day long. But I didn't focus on the fact of what was going on around me. I was focusing on the task at hand to help other people. And I didn't want to follow that fear mongering aspect of it. Indeed, it was fearful to some people and more regretful for other people. I'm using myself as an example of what you focus on, you bring upon.
Well, yeah, it did affect a lot of people that way, Jerry, and I was kind of in the same boat as you were. I just endeavored to persevere, and it was out of my hands. If I'd have thought the shot would have helped me, I would have gotten it. But I never believed for a moment that it would help me. But
It never even crossed my mind.
you and I are
Yeah, go
probably
ahead.
we're just carriers. We got it. We were just carriers.
Yeah, yeah, germ, germ, germ. No, I get it. I get. Oh, I was criticized for that. I was warned. I said, "Look," I said, "it doesn't feel right." And that was a commitment I made to myself, and hopefully you guys can do it for yourself.
No,
I mean, it
absolutely.
doesn't feel right. Don't do it. I mean, no matter what,
Right.
And now they're begging these service people to come back, into the military who got thrown out, because they didn't believe in something like that. Which is their right, honestly, as human beings. They don't want to inject something in them. We're too busy protecting our children. If you have offspring, don't you do that. But here we are, jacking this stuff in their own systems. But like I said, I didn't believe in it for a heartbeat. Not to be any, conspiracy theorist. It just
Right.
didn't feel right to me, and I didn't want to do it.
Well,
And
yeah,
I
but
was shunned for it.
well, I was shunned too. And when the hamster was going around on the wheel and I was being bombarded with it, it kept hitting its head on the rungs of the wheel
Hmm.
in the windmills of my
Now,
mind.
granted, maybe I got some symptoms, but honestly, I never got anything according to it. And that's great because it's a great example for people to realize that whatever emotional and whatever emotional field you're cultivating every day, either fear, joy, happiness, gratitude, you're cultivating that field every day with your thoughts and your awareness and your conscious thoughts about yourself every day. You'll understand what you're sowing and reaping.
Right.
You live in the mind, you live in the attitude of gratitude. But that's not some abstract inspirational saying here. If you're grateful for something, say it, but are you finishing the sentence with a period or a question mark? If you're finishing with a period, that means you're faithful, you understand it. With a question mark, you got some work to do. I'm grateful for the money I have, but there's a big question mark. Well, what if this happens? You're not really grateful for it. I mean, gratitude is a fulfillment, knowing that what you've asked for, what you have, will come. Gratitude on health every day. You're gonna figure out real quick how healthy you are just by your verbiage about what you're saying about yourself. So it's imperative how you connect to the unified field, or whatever you want to call it, whatever theory you're going to put behind it, is going to directly impact who you are in your reality in your world.
Well, and to be fair, I'm getting some feedback, Jerry. Uh, fear is very, very debilitating. Very debilitating. So if you happen, let's just say the flu, if you caught the flu and you were terrified by having the flu, that would just make your symptoms and your ability to treat yourself that much worse. If you
Oh
approach
yeah.
approach it matter of fact, I have the flu. Okay, and I think we're more of that nature.
Oh, we've been conditioned. You and I growing up. I mean, they used to send us next door to get the chicken pox, man. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they put three letters into that something that will scare people to death, and they got the term in medical psychosomatic. I mean, 80% of our visits to the ER are psychosomatic illnesses. It's just permeating thoughts about a subject that have materialized in the physical body. I mean, the flu can be a sniffle, literally, it can be a sniffle or a pulmonary embolism.
Right.
And literally, it gets that way. But you start getting filled with fear and watching fear, you can only manifest more fear. And that's what helped me tremendously was not surrounding my environment with more things to create what I don't want. There you go. There's that choice again that few people really have to understand. Like you said, we have the power. We are superheroes, literally.
Yeah.
And we can do what we want. We can put on that emotional cape every day and tell the world, this is who I am. This is what I desire. this is what I'm going to be, and this is who I am, to show the world the person that I want to become.
Absolutely. You know, if Cousin Biff is creating aggravation for your family and you and tension, you might want to assess why Cousin Biff is important in your world.
Yeah, family, love them from a distance.
Yeah.
We have FaceTime for family now. Hey, what's up? Oh, my phone's ringing. I'll see you later.
Yeah.
But no, and no, I love my family.
No,
We're very close knit. Yeah, very close knit. Very graphic, profanic people. But that's the Italian side of the family. We're always yelling at each other, not in a bad way. But yeah, some people literally, I mean, they all they talk about is how bad their family situation is. At least you got a family.
no,
A lot of
exactly.
people don't. This is what I mean. I mean, they're bitching about cousin John when there's millions of people who would love to have a cousin John or love to have something to bitch at. This is people's perspective on life has to get to the meat of the problem of what kind of garden they're planting every day and what they're sowing and reaping from that garden.
Absolutely. But anybody with a Cousin John out there, I don't want him. I don't care.
I'm trying to be kind of, basic with the names here. I didn't want to say cousin Julio. They think I'm a racist.
We're
It's just
not.
getting crazy.
Yeah. No, we're just we're wearing down. Jerry, I like this
Two
episode.
meatballs, two meatballs having fun, man.
I like this episode. Planning is important to everything. I mean, it's what keeps the world spinning. Actually,
Yeah, but my question to you is why such a decline? It's a great question we should actually have on the show. Why such a decline in births throughout the world? I mean, I was watching today, even Japan, they've stopped and jacking out kids. Could it be financial? Could it be the world state? Could it be fear of bringing children in the world? So, it's a great topic, for discussion. Maybe they made it so expensive where you can't even have a kid anymore.
well, I think that
You
would
know, so
be part of it, but I think there's a lot of theoretical aspects of it, and there's probably a little bit of truth in all of it.
yeah, because we definitely got to breed, or else we're all gonna be extinct. You got to share the gene, man. I got three beautiful daughters. I'm lucky to have that. That's my family per se. But hopefully, people will really grasp what I brought up as far as the unified field, their thoughts, their feelings are creating this garden that they can't see, which inevitably is going to be something that they can see. And if the top physicists and scientists, Einstein, all these deceased notables use that to create the systems we have in place for space travel, consciousness, atoms, and how they circulate, and how nuclear energy is used. I mean, think about it for yourself. Think about the research you can do behind it. Think about how you can improve yourself just by benefiting by understanding it.
Well, absolutely, and if nothing else, improve your perspectives.
Indeed.
All right, everybody. Jerry, I think that's a good place to put this one in the
In the
books.
can, man.
In the can. All right, everybody. This has been Justin Case and Jerry Maldonado bringing you Meatball Perspectives. Thanks for joining us. Remember, and additional links and information are provided in this video's read more. Today's the day to subscribe to this channel. Please learn more about Jerry Maldonado when time permits.